Eagle Vision TV.
Trying to fight it, now I'm swimming in the waves. Let the water lift me up and carry me away. Right here in this room, oh, this is where I wanna stay. You're where I wanna stay. I love your touch, no baby, I can't get enough, enough. Yeah, baby, you got me feeling for your love, your love. Don't know how I could ever get enough, 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 enough. Your touch, no baby, I can't get enough, enough. Yeah, baby, you got me feeling for your love, your love. Don't know how I could ever get enough, 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 enough. Just one look in your eyes, you got me feeling it. You're everything I want, there's no concealing.
Welcome to Eagle Vision for Monday, February 26, 2024. I'm Camelia, and today's top story highlights the track team as the spring season kicks off. I'm here with Coach McGowan. Tell us about the track season.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, track season is rapidly approaching. We have our first meet scheduled for March the 22nd. And if you are familiar with our team, we had several young people that were qualifiers almost all the way up to state last year. We won race out of state with several of our relays, and we're hoping to return and go even further this year.
We also wanted to check in with softball and Coach Fox.
Good morning, everyone. This is the other Coach Fox, and I'm here to talk about softball. We have currently played 3 games, and throughout those 3 games, we have showed tremendous growth. One of the big things that we are working on as a team is understanding that being a part of a team and starting a season is a process, and that you can't necessarily reach your goal or your highest potential in the first 3 games of the season, and that the most important part about being on a team is that you're always striving to get better and be better, and play with passion and play for a purpose. And so those are just some of the big things that we're focusing on this year. And I can honestly say that from the first game to the 3rd game, we have truly done that. The team has truly bought into the things that I'm trying to teach them and the things that I'm trying to show them. And so while our scoreboard may not always reflect what outside people looking into our team would call a win, I think that we are accomplishing small victories each and every day, just with the progress that we're making and our efforts that we're putting into it. So I'm excited about what's happening. I do think if you come out and watch a game, you'll see something special about this group of kids. I think that they are working hard and that they're really trying to make some changes for Horn Lake softball. And so I think you should come out, check it out. We play next Tuesday. That should be an away game, but we should be back home next Thursday. So come on out, support us. Thank you.
Last week, we sat down with Miss Hennessy. Her grandmother's story has been documented in a new book that our library has now acquired. So tell us about your grandmother.
So my uncle, Tom Sandai, wrote a book about my grandma. And she's just a person, she had a lot of challenges in her life. And each time she had a challenge, she just kind of dug deeper in herself and figured a way out, and figured out how to make a good life for herself despite some of the things that happened to her.
Tell us about the book.
So the title is Dust Yourself Off, The Gravel Road to a Good Life. And the first part of the book kind of gives you a background of my grandma. She grew up in a Norwegian American community, very small community in North Dakota. And so the first half of the book kind of gives you a background of her family and what's happening in the world at that time. And then the second half of the book starts when she's a senior in high school. And then, some of the things she enjoyed doing, and then some challenges that came later. I don't know how much to say. I don't want to give away too much.
Ms. Stevens, you read the book. What were your thoughts on the book?
It was a really good read. I feel like it brought a perspective of Norwegian life that we don't see right here in DeSoto County, because we are often reflective of just our own community, and we don't often think about other societies in previous years. So for me, it was interesting reading about other people's lives, what they went through, and I completely enjoyed it.
If students have a specific request for the library, what can they do?
If you have a book request, simply let me know. I usually keep a stand next to my desk. You can fill out a piece of paper, drop it in. I keep a running list, so usually when you let me know, I write it down on my running list, and then when I go through my processing and get my book orders, I try to include as many of the student requests. And actually, I do love buying what you guys do. So never be afraid to ask me or to let me know you're looking for a collection, because I am always looking out for you guys.
We are here with a very special guest today. Stephanie is here with us, and she is going to talk a little bit about wildlife rehabilitation.
So personally, I'm a wildlife rehabilitator, a certified wildlife rehabilitator. So we take in, I work for Mississippi Wildlife Rehabilitation. We take in orphaned and injured birds and reptiles. I went to an event and just started by asking if I could volunteer. I didn't really know much at the time, so that is how I started. I went through an apprenticeship program and learned on the job. And I was just a volunteer for several years before I became the wildlife director.
How many different areas right here in the state of Mississippi? How many do we have? A lot of different offices? Like, how is y'all's department set up?
So we're a small nonprofit. We network with other rehabilitators to help get birds in for care, but we have a small wildlife hospital at Arkabutla Dam that we kind of partner with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers.
Okay.
They let us use it for free, which is great. And then everything else we're all volunteer based, trying to network to get birds into care, for transport, for help with volunteer, for events to be able to raise the money to pay for their care.
Many people have probably not been able to pay attention much on this because you have a guest here. So why don't you tell us who we have right here?
So this is Hazelnut. He is an eastern screech owl. He actually came in. He was a call that I got last summer. Some kids were, found this screech owl in a hole, and they were trying to feed it, and their mom eventually figured out what they were doing. And if you notice, one of his eyes, it's not fully developed. He has gone to specialists. It's a birth defect that does not bother him, but he can't see. So because of that, he's unreleasable. He was also socialized by these kids at a very young age.
Really?
So he doesn't really act as wild as a screech owl. They're usually a lot feistier. So while our goal is always to take them in and rehabilitate to release, occasionally they're not releasable. This
Right.
one would not survive long in the wild. And so because he was a good candidate, we were able to put him on our permit for education and to bring him, out, because it's a fun way to learn.
Now tell us about him as his species. Y'all said that he is fully grown, even though he is really, really small.
Yeah, so he is a full-grown screech owl. This is as big as he's gonna get. We get a lot of calls about baby great horned owls. 99% of the time, it is a full-grown screech owl. He still's got the little ear tufts.
Right.
They're our smallest common owl in Mississippi. We have a lot around. They're nocturnal and people don't see them, but they do get hit by cars a lot. That's kind of the most common reason they come into care.
Got you. All right, and Tell us about the owl, the species itself. They can turn their necks like a crazy amount.
Yeah, so owls can turn their heads 270 degrees. It's about 3/4 of the way around, not all the way around. Their head would fall off. And that is because they have twice as many vertebrae in their neck as we do. And it's an adaptation they have because they cannot move their eyes. They're like fixed in their skulls. They have very, very large eyes. It's very common for them to come in with eye trauma from being hit. It takes up a lot of their brain space.
Right. If students are interested in this as a possible career, not just volunteering, tell us a little bit about how you made this a career.
Okay, for me personally, I started with volunteer work, and then there are internship programs. Most of them are unpaid. If you do want to be a better candidate for a paid position, majoring in biology or animal science, ecology, these majors can really help make you stand out. There are some centers that hire positions for wildlife rehabilitators out there. It's not a very high-paying job because most centers are all nonprofits and there's no state or federal funding.
Right.
In the year 1976, a woman named Sylvia Mathers created history by becoming FBI's first African-American female agent at the age of 26. Sylvia was born on July 7, 1949 in North Carolina, but later moved to Florida where she was raised for the remainder of her childhood. Sylvia attended NYU and graduated in 1972 with a bachelor's degree in political science. She later earned a Juris Doctor from the University of North Carolina in law. Instead of pursuing a job with her law degree, her dean, who was a former FBI agent, convinced her to go into FBI training. After weeks of intense and grueling training, Sylvia graduated and was given the badge number 2658. As soon as she graduated, she was assigned to assist illegal gambling and investigate extortion cases. Sylvia left her mark away from the public eye, but did not fail to pave the way for African American women for years to come.
This week's feature vocabulary words are impervious, incendiary, and incompetent. Impervious, unable to be affected by. Incendiary, tending to stir up conflict, designed to cause fires. Incompetent, not having or showing the necessary skills to do something successfully.
Good morning, students. This is Miss Jolly, and I'm here to talk to you about prom again. The tickets are now $75. They will be $75 through March the 8th, and then after spring break, they go up to $80. So we still want you to get in and get your tickets early before they go up to $80. So do that as soon as you can. Also, I wanted to remind you, if you are bringing a student from another DeSoto County high school or a student who graduated from Horton Lake High School within the previous 2 years, you need to get that guest approved. And there is a prom guest approval form that you will need to get from me in room E15 or Miss Johnson in room D13. There's some information that needs to be filled out by the principal of that other school and some other things that we need to know. So make sure you get that form if you're bringing your guest. And also, that form needs to be turned in no later than March the 8th. So if you have any questions, find Coach Sandlin. He will be happy to answer all of those. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This is just a friendly reminder that this week and next week are all the time left that you have in T3. So make sure you're checking your Power School and staying on top of your grades and talking to your teachers. And as always, you can email your counselors if you need anything. Hope everyone has a productive last 2 weeks of the 9 weeks.
The EVTV CAST application process is now open for next year. You can log on to our school website at hornlakehigh.com and click on the EVTV application link. Students will have through spring break to apply. That's it for today's episode. Here at Horn Lake, we are better students, always growing and expecting more. Stay tuned for your lunch menus and athletic schedules. We'll see you here tomorrow. Have a fantastic day.